Hello. Oh, I think I'm a bit on an angle. That's better, I think. Kylie here. Welcome to this live stream. And if this is your first time being here or listening, then this is the live stream where I have a bit of a chat about all sorts of things, about writing, about self-publishing, about being an author in general, the actual experience of it, the ups, the downs, the nuts and the bolts. And what we are going to be talking about today is a nuts and bolts question or topic that is, I think it's important for us all to know. But let me start by saying, if you enjoy what I say, then feel free to give me thumbs up and hearts and all that kind of love. And also, if you have any writer friends who you think could benefit, then there's a little share button down there and you can share this video with them. You can either just tag them in or whatever. I don't know. You know how Facebook works. I'm not telling you anything you don't know here. But I guess the point is, that if you think someone would be interested, then please feel free to share it. So what we are going to be talking about today is the money, honey. We're going to be talking about the money about with books, the money that you can make, the money that... I'm not going to be talking about the money it costs, although maybe I'll get onto that. I'm really just going to talk about how much money you make as an author. And obviously, I'm going to be using my own personal experience as where I'm taking my guide from, but also the clients that I work with. And I've worked with quite a number of clients over the years and continue to in a capacity of, I guess being their mentor and their coach. So taking them through the whole process. Now, just give me a minute. I'm going to be very rude and I am going to share this video myself because someone's going to do it. I don't have a team yet. So I'm going to share this into the books that make a difference by authors who give a damn. So they can check it out there too. Okay. Post. All right. So the money, honey. Show me the money, honey. Look, it's a really important topic because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and maybe sometimes people can get disappointed or have incorrect expectations, and I will set the record straight. No, I'll tell you what my experience has been and what a lot of people that I've worked with and a lot of other authors, even ones that I haven't coached but that I'm just friends with, have experienced similar. So how much money do I make from my book? Of course, is the same question as how long is a piece of string, but there are some general guidelines. Now, first of all, let's establish that we're talking about people like me who are not famous. So, this is completely different experience for people who have got a huge following, not talking about how much money they're making from their books. I'm talking about the average person who, might have a small following, but in general is, just a nobody. That's who I am. I'm a nobody. How much money is it possible to make? So there's also a lot of controversy about how you price your book, and this is directly related into how much money you make from your book. So first of all, I guess my short answer is probably not going to make a lot of money. Like if you just have a single book up, and you'll know from all of the posts that I put up and a lot of the things I share that if you are writing a book or you have written a book or you have published a book, it does become a little bit addictive, and you usually don't stop at one, although some people do, and they may have different purposes. But if you enjoy the process of writing and you've got a lot to share and talk about and tell people, chances are you'll be writing more than one book. So obviously that increases the amount of money you can make. But what was I going to say? If, let's say it is only just from the one book that you have, what's the kind of money you can hope to make? Well, obviously you want to put create as good a circumstance there as possible. But even so, it's probably not something you can retire on. And it may be something that doesn't make much of a huge difference at all. Now, I just, in fact, someone in another group shared with me this fantastic resource. I will definitely share it in the group. And sorry, I just have to do this. It is like so stuffy in here. I have to let a bit of air in. Hopefully not too much noise. Oh, that's better. Okay. So someone shared with me in another group a fantastic resource. I think it was called Book Counter or something. It's a free resource. And it shows you the lifetime of your book and all of your books, and you can divide it up into everything. So it shows you the number of sales and also the number of the amount of money for the lifetime of the book, which Amazon doesn't do, which is insane. I mean, that really annoys me. They only show you for the last 90 days. It's crazy. Anyway, so I did have a look at mine, and I think it was about $8,500. Or maybe a little bit more or a bit less. It was somewhere in that mid 8,000s. So that's for a year and a half of publication. So, you know, like, hey, like it's $8,500, but hardly anything that I'm going to retire on. Oh, that frightened me. Now I've opened the window, the doors are slamming. Okay, it was Halloween last night, and in some places of the world it still is. Okay, so but how does it work, and how can, like, because $8,500 is actually not bad in the circles of authors who don't follow my system that I talk to. So, you know, for a lot of them, they'd be happy to be making $100 a month. So clearly I'm making a lot more than that. Probably in the beginning, there was maybe a month or so where it was a couple of $1,000s, and then it dropped down to sort of 1,000, 800, and it's kind of steadied off at about 600 plus a month. So that's my experience. But part of that is because of all the marketing techniques that I use, inbuilt marketing techniques, I talk about all of these in a course that I actually have bundled up for sale right now. And if you are interested in that, you've got to check out the Halloween special. You've got basically 24 hours left of it. And there's 6 courses in there, and at least 2 of them go into these marketing techniques that I'm referring to. So I'm not going to go into them now. We're talking about the money. Okay, so the way it works is this. You get 70%, is that right? Yeah. 70% of the royalties are yours and 30% are Amazon's. I think that's the cut. When your book is priced between $2.99 and $9.99. So that is clearly a good place to price it. But some authors decide that they want to price their book a lot higher because they feel their book is worth a lot more. Again, we are talking about the Kindle version of your book, just to be clear, and we're talking about Amazon. So I am being exclusive in both of these and what my references are, because from my experience, there you go, I looked this up on this tool as well. 92-3% of my sales came from my Amazon Kindle book. So I mean, it just goes to show that's where I should put my energy and effort. Also, I can't remember, I'm so bad with numbers, 85% was from the US. And then actually it was more than that, because there was like 6% from Australia, 1% from UK, 1% from Canada, 1% from France, and like the rest was America. So that's where my market is. I've just been going through putting edits in my book and Americanizing everything, because I spell realize with an S, and I spell mum with a U, and I say lollies, and my editor corrected that to lollipops, and I'm like, lollipops? That's not what I'm talking about. What do they call lollies? I thought lollies was American, because when I was little, I actually used to call them sweeties, but then everyone just started calling them lollies. Candies is what it is. So I had to change lollies to candies. Because that's where my audience is. There's no point. They'll be reading and going, she doesn't know how to spell. She spelt realize with an S. She spelt color with a U. Oh my God. Yeah, no. we do things differently here. So I have to Americanize it. I left a few fully Australian things in there, like the word cooey. I thought, fuck it, I'm leaving that in. My editor took it out and she went, what did the line say? Something there was not without a nurse in cooey. Now, that will definitely trip people up, but I just thought, you know what, I am Australian, I want to put a little bit of flavour in there, and if people look at it and go, what the fuck is she talking about? What is this cooey? I'm going to give you the insider knowledge. Cooey is so Australian, it's not even funny. I'll give you the whole etymology of the friggin' word. So basically, because the Australian bush is so vast, the way that people would communicate to each other if they were lost or they wanted to find each other, and I swear I have actually done this because I grew up in the bush, is you would shout out, cooey. I feel funny doing that on the live stream. You'd shout it out like that, and it's this beautiful, it's like a very, I don't know, it's just kind of a romantic sound, because if you hear that echoing through, you know that your brother's looking for you or something. Anyway, so cooey, and then you'd cooey back. So that's what cooey, so if you say, if someone's within cooey, do you get it? Do you get the meaning now? If they're within cooey, it means they're within earshot of you shouting in this very melodic kind of a thing. So I left that word in. I've like completely gone off track from the money, but I'm coming back to it, please be assured. So the reason I was speaking about that is because know your audience, know where the money's coming from. For me, the money is coming from the US of A. Hey, thanks guys. So that is something to be really aware of. Now, if I was sensible, I would be doing these live streams at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. But because that's what time my audience is up and about. But yeah, no. I did do an interview once at 11 o'clock at night with someone who lived in Saudi Arabia, and it was horrendous because I was just like, it was just very hard keeping my energy that high at that time of night. And I have also got up and done webinars at 6 a.m. Also very difficult. I mean, I'm pretty good at 6 a.m., but not to the level of like, you know, creating like presenting. That you have to have a certain extra level of energy. Anyway, just going off topic again. So, first of all, pricing your book within the $2.99 and $9.99, pricing it in there is what Amazon wants you to do, because they give you 70%. If you price outside of there, guess how much you get? 30%. So clearly, they are very strongly encouraging you to keep your book within that price. Now, it's sensible to keep your book within that price. The trick to work out how much you can sell is to start your book out at very low, $2.99. Let's say the lowest at that sort of the good return point, and then leave it there for say a month, and then every few weeks or every month put it up another $1, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. So I did that, and I found that my sales held steady at $4.99. When I put it up to $5.99, my sales dropped. So I was like, okay, so the market won't stand. My market won't stand that price. So that's how I worked out how to price my book. Now, when you price your book very high, because rightly so, you know your book is worth a damn sight more than $2.99 or even $9.99. Like it's such a pittance, right? I mean, people pay that for a coffee. I don't know. But the thing is that it really is a low amount. But you've got to get your head around quantity of buyers. Amazon buyers are trained, very well trained by Amazon, to purchase books within that price range. And if they're outside of that price range, they need a damn good reason to purchase them. So if you're famous and you're like Stephen King will price his books at $13. It's still pretty low, right? And that's Stephen King. Okay. Or John Grisham. Was it John Grisham put one out recently? And it was like, yeah, it was a little bit over the $9, but it's like, yeah, well, people are going to buy that. They're just like they are. Kylie Ann said, yeah, not so much. I don't have 50 million people chomping at the bit to get my next book. So you price it according to what the market is used to paying, not what you think your book is worth. I can't emphasize this enough. If you price your book what you think it's worth, basically nobody will get to benefit from it, okay? You won't make any money from it. You know, if you sell your book for even, let's say, $9.99, you know, you'll be lucky to make one sale a month. I swear to you, that's what will happen. And if you price it higher, like I know, I see people who have their books in there, new authors that are, you know, who don't have a following, and they put their books in there for $15.99, because I know what they're thinking in their head is my book's worth $15.99. You know how many sales they're making by what ranking they are. So you have a look at the ranking, and if they're ranking sort of 600,000 or 1 million in the store, well, that means that they're probably not even making one sale a month. So, okay, their book's, you know, $15, they're getting 70% of that, whatever. But, you know, they're not actually getting any money. You know, if they get $7 a month from Amazon, that'd be a big month. So there's that. And then B, if your message is important, it really has to go out to lots of people. And Amazon has the amazing, I mean, this is really, you know, whatever you think about big corporations, and believe me, I am anti-big corporation like you wouldn't believe, but this is a platform that gives us a platform. We have a platform that we wouldn't have if we did it the old-fashioned way. We have access to millions. A statistic I read recently: 44 million people every single day visit Amazon. 44 million people. Okay, wow. Now, they're not all coming looking for your book, but just imagine, okay, this is, I just thought of this analogy. Just imagine you had your book for sale at your home, and the only people who ever knew your book existed were people that you had personally invited into your home. So, you know, your mum and your friend and your brother and the neighbors, and, you know, maybe a few friends of them. Okay, so that's it. So those are the only people who would ever see your book, as opposed to the biggest, most popular shopping center on planet Earth and having your book for sale in a shop in that shopping center. Now, not everyone going into that shopping center, the 44 million people a day, oh my God, there's no shopping center that has that kind of foot traffic. They're not all going in there to look in the bookshop, and they're not all going, even those that go in the bookshop are not all going to look at your book. But sheer weight of numbers is, it's going to push it, you know, it's going to benefit you, is what I'm trying to say. So that's the way I look at it. It is a numbers game. And then again, as I said, the pricing comes down to if you then have access to these potential 44 million people, but you price your book in such a way that they'll go, like every other book's this much, and then that book's that much, what's so good about it? So you'd have to have some pretty good answers for that to convince them to open their wallet, or in this case, click the buy now button, because their wallets are already open. They actually come into that shop, wallets open, credit card details entered. All they have to do is go click. So it's a very painless buy, getting someone to buy a book on Amazon. It's incredibly painless. It's probably the easiest buy that you'll pretty much ever get out of someone. So you do need to, so when it comes to money, you need to think about that. You need to think about the number of people, but you also need to think about getting, how many people do you want to impact? Now, the people that I work with, the authors I work with, in the large part, they're writing books about, I mean, my Facebook group is called Books That Make a Difference, by authors who give a damn. So it gives you an idea of the sort of books that these authors are interested in writing. It means that they've got something important to say, an experience to share, a skill to share, some wisdom to pass on, some knowledge, a unique take on things, a strong opinion, whatever it is, something that they feel strongly enough that they're going to put aside, 3 months of their life plus toward creating this, this creation. Now, if that is what you're doing, then you owe it to the people who need to hear this message to make sure that it gets out there. And if your book is priced at $14.99, even if it's priced at $8.99, people won't buy it. People won't get your message. It doesn't matter how beautiful the cover is. In that situation, price does trump cover. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I said the word Trump, which I've never said in a live stream. And I said the word something trumps the cover, which my whole, everyone who's seen anything I've done knows that I'm just like the cover. I've just worked out in my own little head that the price trumps the cover. Oh my God, that's what I should have called this live stream. The price trumps the cover. Shit. It does. Just deal with it, people. Deal the fuck with it. So it's painful to price your baby at such a low pittance of $2.99, and that's where you need to start your pricing at $2.99. It hurts to put such a small price, not even the price of a cup of coffee, right? Something that you would just throw away. If it falls down the back of the couch, you can't even be bothered pulling the cushions up to get it. That's how unimportant that $2.99 is. So it's painful to put that price on something that you have poured your heart and soul into. And for most people, that is the experience of writing a book. It is a pouring of, everything into it. So, if you wanted to put the actual value on it, it'd be like $500. It'd be $5,000. We're not pricing it based on its value. We're pricing it based on how many people we want to impact. And I guarantee you'll get more money doing it that way than if you did. If you put $5,000 on your book, well, I just don't think, maybe there would be one person that would go, why is that book priced at $5,000? Someone should do it just to see. Maybe there'll be someone out there with their credit card ready and they'll go, if that's $5,000, that must be a bloody good book. I'm buying it. Hey, that would be an interesting experiment just to see what might happen. My guess is you probably wouldn't get any sales, but maybe you would get one random sale. And if you only got one random sale a year, you'd make a bit of money. But not as much as if you priced it at $2.99. And more importantly, you wouldn't be impacting as many people. That's the real message here. So I hope that has been a useful message and it's made you rethink or perhaps reconcile. Reconcile yourself with the fact that the pittance of the price of your book on Amazon is not reflective of the quality of what's in it. It's reflective of how many people you want to reach. So that's my message about, and I didn't really answer the question, how much money you're going to make. Okay, the pricing is really important, and that's what I've spent most of the time talking about. The secondary thing, how much money are you going to make from your book? Well, I did talk a little bit about that. Really, if you use inbuilt marketing techniques, you are going to you're going to weight things in your favor, because if your book is priced correctly, and you have all the inbuilt marketing, I call it the browser to buyer psychology system. And if you're doing all of that, then what is going to happen? It's going to be pretty awesome, but you will definitely be making more sales at someone that doesn't do that. Now, what is this inbuilt marketing browser to buyer psychology I'm talking about? Well, if you are interested, this is the moment you need to take action, because I cannot believe what I've priced this at. I have bundled together 6 of my courses. Now, they're on various different things, but a couple of them go into a very, very deep dive on the exact browser to buyer psychology I'm talking about. All the hacks that I used in my book, all the copywriting techniques, all the marketing techniques, all of that, all the launch team techniques, which is really great to get your book off to a good start. Now, these are courses that are worth $500+, and I've bundled them all together, and there's 6 of them, and they'll take you through all sorts of aspects. Even there's another one, one of the courses is called the Book Idea Breakthrough, and that is one that goes deep into obviously your book idea, but also it goes into the mindset and psychology, and it's just packed with so much awesome information on how to get into the author mindset, so that writing a book is a breeze and a joy, not a burden and a total nightmare that often just gets put aside. So all of these are bundled together at, can you believe this, 95% off. So if I took the individual prices that these courses were priced at, added it all up, I've slashed 95% off it, and that is the Halloween sale that is on right now. So if you are interested in the techniques that I use to get my book to #1, to keep it at #1 for over 18, no, that's a lie, not 18 months. Keep it at #1 for over 6 months. 6 months, people. You have a look around. Most people's books, if they do get them to #1, it's like a week, 2 weeks. If they're there for 6 weeks, they're excited. 6 months, my book was at #1, and then recently it was at #1 again for another month and a half. And because of that, how many people have been impacted? I mean, I've literally sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of this book. So that's how many people are being impacted by my message. Not to mention the income, which, as I've said, is like it's not massive, but it's certainly worth noting. If you want to know how I did that and the techniques, these are the very techniques that when I work one-on-one with people, I will take them through in a session, one of maybe the 15 to 20 techniques that are included in this bundle. And that is just in one coaching session. And this bundle is going to cost you less than a single coaching session. That's how low it's priced, but only for another 24 hours, 26 hours. 26 hours, people. It's, Halloween special. This was a real, it was one of those things where Halloween crept up on me. We don't do Halloween in Australia, and I don't watch TV, and I don't have little kids, so it had passed me. I knew it was coming, I mean, obviously, but all of a sudden I went, oh my God, like it's tomorrow. And I knew I wanted to do a 48-hour sale, and so I just went, I kind of knew what was going to be in it, but I didn't really have anything all sort of packaged up together, or the sales page. So I spent a lot of time yesterday doing that and finalized it, got it out, it's ready to go. And then when I decided to put the price on it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make this so attractive that people just can't say no. I'm going to make it so value packed. So I really did put in all my best stuff. This is all the courses I've been teaching for the last few years. All the techniques, the copywriting, marketing, mindset stuff around being an author and becoming a bestseller and getting your book out of your heart into the world, all of that stuff packaged in there. So a lot of these courses haven't been on sale. Some of them, it's been a few months. When I say on sale, they haven't even been selling. Like, I have opened the cart and then closed the cart, so they haven't been available to purchase for a couple of them for a year. The book launch boot camp, that was a year ago that was on sale, and people have been asking me about it since, and I knew I wanted to make something really special about it, special with it. Bundle it together with all these things. You're going to get a really good taste. There's a few webinars in there, there's a few master classes, and then there's some actual in-depth courses for you to really have a lot of fun with. So act now or forever hold your peace, as they say, because after this it's going to be bang, doors shut, and there will be, of course, always be new content coming out, because I love to create content, and I'm always coming up with different and new ideas. But if you like the idea of some of my best stuff that I've produced previously, the stuff that has really helped people, has moved them to bestseller status, then this is definitely the bundle for you, because, well, you're getting it at a really low price. That's one thing, but also it's just really going to help you. That's it. That's all I got for you. All right, it's been awesome. And as I said, if you liked my story, let me know. Give me the thumbs up at the very least. A like would be nice. But sharing the video or tagging in an author friend or someone who's thinking about writing, has been imagining about writing, do it. Do it now. Because they'll thank you for it. And I will too. And that's always good. So don't forget, the world is waiting for your story. So you need to write now. Bye.